Welcome to Save U.S. Taxes Legally. We're going to start off with three questions. Number one, do you want to leave a legacy for future generations? Number two, do you want to save taxes year after year, generations after generations? And number three, do you want to learn the secret of the riches? Imagine saving four, five, six figures in taxes every single year. You could use this money to put back into your business, to pay off your mortgage, buy a new vehicle, take your family on vacation, give to a charity, or save for retirement. Imagine all lawsuits become frivolous and go away. Think how much time, money, anxiety, worry just goes away. Imagine nobody knows what you own, where you own it, how much you own, and what you do with it. Welcome to Save U.S. Taxes Legally. My name is Sally Gimmon. I'm the owner of theTrustisYou.com and a free class on the Great Discovery that tells you more about the trust. It's my name, www.sallygimmon.com. I believe every business owner, entrepreneur, franchisee owner, 1099 income earner, and U.S. investor needs to know this information. It's not taught in schools, and we need to know it. I believe since I learned this information, it is my duty to teach it to as many others as possible. It's a secret that should not be a secret. And I believe the playing field must be equal for all size businesses. The Amazons of the world get free land. My brother's brewery lost the brewery because the lease expired. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, what is she talking about? How can we save taxes? Great question. This is legal. This is in the IRS Tax Code 643B. It's been in front of the United States Supreme Court on two separate occasions, and both times the Supreme Court has favored it. If you Google Tax Code 643B, please do, I want you to research this, you will find an opinion letter from the IRS dated September 11th, 2018. Opinion letter. The IRS cannot change the tax code. Only Congress can change the tax code. And right now, so many senators and congressmen people have this trust, they're not planning on changing that. Now, a little bit of history so we can get started. This comes from England way back when King Henry VIII, that famous king who chopped off his wives' heads, started the Church of England in 1534. He went to go tax the lords and ladies of England, and they went further back to the in history to the Magna Carta in the 13th century and said, no, 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 King Henry VIII, you can't do this. It's contract law that came to the colonies while we were still part of England. Our current tax code went into effect February of 1913. It was only supposed to be around for a few years. Then we got into World War I, and it just kept staying there. It's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The super rich families of 1913, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, the Kennedys, and the Rockefellers made sure they could save taxes. Well, if they can save taxes, we can save taxes. There are 5 elements to the trust, and all 5 elements are super important. I will go over each one individually. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, spendthrift trust. Irrevocable. It goes from generation to generation. The Rockefellers Trust is 7 generations old and has almost 400 people under the same EIN or employee identification number, but they each file separate tax returns. Some people get irrevocable mixed up, saying once something gets in the trust, you can't get it out. That's not true. Irrevocable, complex. This trust can hold money from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, decade to decade, century to century. The 97% of the trusts sold every year are what my mom and dad had and what Susie Orman talks about on PBS television, the family trust. The only thing the family trust does is avoid going through probate. Then it dissolves. This is not your mom and dad's trust. This is what the rich have. This is to save taxes. I'll go over the 4 ways you're going to save in just a minute. So irrevocable, complex, discretionary. Whoever are the trustees can make the rules for all the beneficiaries. There's no contesting this in court. There's no backstabbing or anything else. You even have power from the grave after you have passed away. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor. This makes the trust completely private. When you start the trust, you're going to have a non-grantor or a settlor who is not a beneficiary, is not a trustee or trustee. It's going to be somebody outside of this who's going to be the settlor. They're going to be the trustee for no more than 5 minutes, and then they're going to sign themselves away. If you can't find someone to do this, you will need their social security number. Either myself or somebody else from the law firm can do this free of charge for you. I used a family friend who knew me before I was born. Roy was 87 years old when I started both my business and beneficial trust in September of 2020. He had to sign his name 17 times. Unfortunately, Roy had arthritis of the hands, and it was not a good choice on my part. He was happy to do it, but not a good choice. So irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, and the fifth element, the spendthrift. As I said before, this has been in front of the United States Supreme Court on 2 separate occasions, and both times it's been favored. When you go out to my course on a great discovery, www.sallygibbon.com, you will get 2 pages of case law where you can research the Spendthrift Trust. It's as legal can be, and people shouldn't have to worry about that. Now, I'm a representative of a law firm who, the Benson Financial Trust. Paul Benson was a Harvard law professor. 76 years ago, he wrote 5 different trusts to save 5 specific taxes. You're not tax free. You're saving very specific taxes. Now his grandson and great grandson run the law firm, so the law firm's name has changed. In 76 years, not a single trust has ever been audited, and only one trust was examined by a senior IRS agent in 2018. The law firm is so confident about this. When you buy a trust, you'll get a certification saying if you get questioned by the IRS, they will defend you free of charge. This happened once. It's so easy for them to do this. So, since we're going to be spending some time together, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. October 2018 was a watershed month for me. 3 major things happened. Number 1, I was living in Phoenix, Arizona, working as a Medicare broker, and my oldest nephew in Charlotte, North Carolina, was getting married October 28th. If you know anything about Medicare, open enrollments from October 5th to December 7th. I had time saved up, and I requested the Friday before the wedding and the Monday after the wedding off, and I was denied. I didn't like the job, and now you got me more annoyed. Number 2, 3 days after being denied, I was driving to work at 7 o'clock in the morning on a major east-west road, Indian School Road. Second car threw on a green light, brand new vehicle, and a bozo ran the red light and T-boned me on my passenger side. Thank God I was not injured because I have major deductible on my health insurance. He had no insurance. All of a sudden, I went from being comfortable to being upside down on my auto loan and had to get a second auto loan and eating ramen noodles twice a week. I'm not in college anymore. Third thing that happened, my mom and dad lived in Goodyear, Arizona, 25 miles west of Phoenix. They drove from Goodyear to Charlotte for the wedding and were supposed to be gone for 2 weeks. Thursday before the wedding, my dad calls me to tell me my mom's in the emergency room and they're not sure what's going on. I worked the Friday before the wedding until 8 o'clock at night. And then I drove myself to Sky Harbor Airport, did a red eye from Phoenix to Charlotte, got to Charlotte, family tradition, we go to IHOP, and then we went to go see my mom. I walked in on the priest giving my mom last rites. I did not know she was that sick. It ended up she had septic in the blood, or blood poisoning. She was on a ventilator for 13 months. She was in the hospital for 15 months. She got better and she came home. My dad stayed with my mom for 9 months in the Charlotte area as she got stronger to come back to the Phoenix area. I going out to their house once a week to do the mail. First week of December, there was a letter 27 pages thick that was her Medicare statement. When I unfolded the 27 pages, it said for emergency room and 1 month on a ventilator, it was $92,000. My dad, who was a retired military officer, everything was covered. I'm standing in my mom and dad's kitchen. I have an $8,000 deductible for my health insurance. I have 2 car payments. I have a mortgage, I have student loans, and I have credit card debt. I needed to change my life. Right then and there, I called my friend Glenn, who had invited me to a real estate meeting, and told Glenn, hey, I need to change my life. He's like, Sally, next Saturday, we're having a Christmas potluck dinner. Bring a $5 gift and some food and meet my fellow real estate investors. I don't know about you, but going to a party where you don't know anybody, a little bit scary. I did it. Best decision of my life. In 2019, still working full time as a Medicare broker, my mentor, Jay Tannenbaum, taught me how to do bank owned properties nationwide. I sold 7 of them, wholesaled 7 of them, paid off $184,000 in debt. Woohoo! Sally was a rock star in her real estate group. I had $50,000 sitting in my bank account. I knew about capital gains. Fast forward, April 4th, 2020. My CPA calls me and says, hey, Sally, some good news for you. Your tax rate went from 22% to 24%, and we need you to come into the office. I don't know if he was being sarcastic or not, but when your tax rate goes up, you pay more in taxes. I made an appointment late at 4:30 in the afternoon in Scottsdale, drove out there, kept it together. He set me up on a payment plan, got my parking validated, go down to the parking garage, and I literally cried for 20 minutes. If you know the geography, Scottsdale's east of Phoenix. I had to drive back into the sunset with tears running down my face. Now, my mom, who is from Ireland, my great aunt Kitty, her aunt, always made a comment about sleeping on it, and you'll come up with a solution. A fantastic book to read, a little bit old, but The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I went to sleep thinking, how am I going to find an extra $29,000? This is the start of COVID. April 1st, I had 6 notes that were paying me monthly. 3 of them did pay me April 1st. I had to foreclose on them after COVID. I didn't know where I was going to get this money. Next morning, I wake up at 5 a.m., get online, because I had read an article about the Rockefellers Spendthrift Trust. It's called The Office. It's 7 generations old and has almost 400 people under the same EIN number. I started researching the Spendthrift Trust, and in 5 months later, September of 2020, I started both my business and my beneficial Spendthrift Trust. I also became the first female mastermind host or hostess in my real estate group, and for 18 months, on Thursday evenings at 6 o'clock, I ran a class showing people how they could be saving capital gains, interest income, and rental income taxes legally with the Spendthrift Trust. Now, let me show you. I have to apologize. I didn't go over the 4 benefits of saving. The 4 ways you're going to save with the Spendthrift Trust. Number 1, you're going to save taxes year after year, generation after generation. Number 2, you're going to keep your information completely private. There's a false rumor out there that your LLC, S Corp, or C Corp does that for you. Not true. You can go online to the Secretary of State or the Corporation Commission of all 50 states and Washington, D.C. and other places and research things online. 40% of all LLCs, S Corps, or C Corps get sued every year. Number 3, talking about lawsuits. With the Spendthrift Trust, all your assets are in the titanium vault. No one can get a hold of them, so the lawsuits become frivolous and go away. And number 4, if you're not aware of the 2024 Corporate Transparency Act, this is from the Treasury Department. It's part of the Anti-Money Laundering Act. You have until December 31st, 2024 to do the paperwork for the Treasury Department or be fined $10,000 and or 2 years in jail for not doing paperwork. With the Spendthrift Trust, you're exempt from doing that paperwork. They don't know what you have or anything else. Now, this next page, I talked about my tax bracket went from 22% to 24%. There are 4 ways to file taxes: single, head of household, married jointly, married separately, and 7 different layers to your tax bracket. Single is the most expensive way to file, and then the more money you make, the more money you pay. I also talked about that I'm a real estate investor in capital gains. Short-term capital gains are just like federal income taxes, between 10% to 37%, 7 different layers, a year or less, and long-term capital gains are either 15 or 20%. Short-term capital gains affect crypto investors, Forex investors, wholesalers like myself, fix and flippers, auction houses, or tax liens. Long-term capital gains more than a year are anybody who's selling a business, selling an investment property, or a baseball card. Interest income taxes are for passive investors. Anyone who's in a mutual fund, in a REIT, doing subject to real estate, the BRRRR strategy. I have notes. That was interest income. Solar financing, creative financing. Dividend income taxes are for anybody, a stock market investor, a day trader, uh, options trader, commodities trader. Rental income taxes. Yes, you can take depreciation. Yes, you do cost averaging. But remember, your information is completely private and all lawsuits become frivolous. So if the renter's dog gets out and bites the mailman cannot come after you. But again, that's between 10% to 37%. And then royalties, a little bit less, between 10% to 35%. That's for anyone with talent, an actor, an actress, an author, an artist, musician, intellectual property, patents, or if you're in NFT world. My first property in the trust I got because of my mom being sick in a hospital in North Carolina was bank-owned reverse mortgage. I bought for $20,000. It was going to go to $50,000 at auction when restrictions for COVID lifted. Didn't happen until August 28th of 2021, and it started at $50,000 and went all the way up to $64,326. Yay, Sally! Without lifting a hammer, I made $44,326. More importantly, at 24%, I saved $10,368 on that one property. I reinvested that money into a whole more real estate. The beneficial trust is for investors. So with the beneficial trust, the 5 taxes you save are capital gains, interest income, dividend income, rental income, and royalty income taxes. The business trust is for U.S. business owners, entrepreneurs, franchisee owners, and anyone making 1099 income. I don't care if you're an insurance broker, a real estate agent, a digital marketer, or an affiliate marketer. You will save at least 90% on your federal income taxes, and in 43 states no longer pay state income taxes. Here's some examples. The mechanic is in New Jersey. He and his wife have 3 grown children. None of them want anything to do with the auto body shop. So that September, he went to the local high school, hired 2 kids who want to learn auto body mechanics. They come in over after school and on Saturday, so he's bringing in more business and saving more money. And because he's saving $3,039 per month, he can pay them $15 an hour. Whoops, and I have to apologize, my thing's off. The salon owner in the school is in California, making over $1 million a year. The Shopify owner, she sells earrings. She's 23 years old. She too went from 22% to 24%, and that she's saving $1,444 a month, which covers her rent in Los Angeles. A home inspection company in Ohio, a real estate broker in Illinois, a dentist in California, and an HVAC owner in just outside Atlanta, Georgia. A real estate agent, just one house back in August of 2023, she saved $5,022 on that one house. I know in 2023 she sold 6 more houses, and she said it completely paid for the trust. A business coach out of New York, a chiropractor out of New York, a gentleman with 2 sub shops in Ohio. With the money he's saving, the $40,122, he's now bought a 3rd sub shop, so he's making more money. An Amazon store owner in California, a commercial lighting person in Illinois, and a paid speaker out of Indiana. All these people are saving thousands of dollars. Now, when you have a business and you sell that business, you are going to pay either 15 or 20% capital gains on the sale. This is a true story. A grown son saw my TikTok video, contacted me in December of 2023. December 2022. Mom and dad were going to sell a family restaurant that Jim and his 2 brothers built 42 years ago for $3 million. On April 15th of 2024, At 15%, he saved $450,000. And at 20%, he saved $600,000. This is money that they can use for their retirement. Jim's 69. His wife Ann is 67. This is their money. This is one of my favorite stories. I took my friend Ingrid door knocking March of 2023. We went to our favorite New York style pizzeria here in the Charlotte area, ordered a white pizza, and we sat there and we chit-chatted for about 2 hours. Roberto, the owner of the store, as we were getting up leaving, he asked for my business card. He and his wife Marianne were just doing their taxes for 2022, and they knew that they had 2 locations and they were making about $15,000 gross per month, or $180,000 per year. With them saving 90% on their federal income taxes, that'd be $27,193, plus North Carolina state income taxes of $7,710 for a full year, they would save $34,903. So what they did with that, in 2024, they opened a 3rd location, and in 2025, they're going to open a 4th location. When they retire in 3036, they're going to leave 2 pizzerias to 1 grown child, 2 pizzerias to a 2nd grown child, no inheritance tax, and the adult children will continue to save federal income taxes. For every trust I sell, I give a donation in my mom's name to St. Mary's Food Bank in Phoenix, Arizona. It is the oldest food bank in the country, part of Feeding of America. My mom was only 5'2". I can palm a basketball, and her fingers were an inch longer than my fingers. She wore size 9 shoes. I wear size 11.5 shoes. She was food insecure. I'm offering you a free 30-minute tax breakthrough session at www.thetrustisyou.com/scheduling. I will take you out to NerdWallet, show you the formula for federal income taxes, and then take you out to Forbes to show you the amount for state income taxes. Unfortunately, Forbes decides you're going to file a 1040 tax return, gives you the deductibles. With all 5 trusts, we just talked about the beneficial trust and the business trust, you will file a 1041 tax return. My free class on the Great Discovery is my name, www.sallygimmon.com. My goal is to help as many investors, U.S. business owners, entrepreneurs, franchisee owners, and self-employed people save as much money as they can in taxes. I cannot help W-2 income earners, but everybody else should know this information. It's not taught in schools. Thank you for watching my video and for coming to my Monday appointments. I hope you all have a beautiful week. Take care.